Hello darlings, and welcome to today's daily diary. We are half an hour earlier today, and therefore there's a little bit more light in the sky, and it doesn't seem as cold as it has been. Let's have a look. 9 degrees. 9 degrees. Quite toasty, really, isn't it? I just need to give the screen a quick blast. Forgive the noise. There we go. Didn't take much to clear that. Right, so today's little discussion, as I anticipated, is going to be a continuation of yesterday's discussion, because as I hoped it might, go on mate, go on, that's it. As I hoped it might, yesterday's video has provoked already some really interesting comments. It's been up a couple of hours at the time of recording, and there've been quite a few comments that I've read with interest. Now, I've read every single one of them. I've not had a chance to reply as yet, but I have read every one thus far. And oh God, I haven't got any fuel. Oh, bugger me. Well, the light's not on, but I've got 0 range, apparently. Oh, sod it, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. God, I'm such a man. In all of the bad ways, and not in many of the good ways. Yeah, there have been some really interesting comments. Thank you so much for all of them. And yeah, there's a lot of food for thought in there. So, today I'm going to be responding and reacting to your responses and reactions. And as I hoped, this can become an actual discussion, not just for my benefit, but increasingly, more and more people are jumping into the comments saying, I find this interesting because I'm in the same situation, or I'm going to be in the same situation, or I fear I'm going to be in this situation. Some really interesting situations, I suppose. And I mean, people are endlessly interesting. So, you know, I had a comment from one gentleman, I think it was, who introduced me to a new concept. It's called Swedish death cleaning. Now, there is a Swedish term for that, which my friend Peter P jumped in and replied to the comment and gave it its proper name. I can't remember what that proper name is, and even if I could, I probably couldn't pronounce it. But it's a concept with which I wasn't previously familiar. So I Googled it, and kind of makes perfect sense, really, I think. Speaking as somebody who's lost both parents, then going through belongings after the event can be wearisome, emotional, upsetting. It can be joyful in a way, but you know, the clutter side of things, I only had a brief read of what Google brought up, but you know, it gave me a very brief overview, and as I understand it, you know, the idea is that you just get rid of a load of your shit before somebody else is in the position of having to do it for you after you've coughed it. And that kind of makes sense to me. And now, the chap who left that comment, I think it was a chap, I apologise if you're actually a chap S, I can't remember your username. Beautiful sky again. But they're 69 and they're doing a big move. They didn't say what that big move was, but, you know, possibly downgrading from a house to a bungalow. Possibly, I suppose, going into a care home. I honestly don't know. But yeah, it does strike me that this Swedish death cleaning, kind of an unfortunate name, is something not just to be done in preparation for death. And it struck me that my situation is a perfect situation for a bit of a Swedish death clean. Now, in other comments, oh, I was talking about people's situations, wasn't I? There's a chap who's, I bet you're going to take years. There's a chap who's downgrading from like a 90-foot narrowboat to a small camper van. There's a million different situations where it would behoove you to get rid of some shit, and mine is very definitely one of those situations. Now, generally speaking, pretty much everybody who's commented has kind of been in agreement with me in terms of the way going forward. Not everybody, but there's not, yeah, opinion seems to be pretty much on one side. Now, somebody did say, I don't understand why you would want to get a caravan when you've got a perfectly functional motorhome. Why would you have a perfectly functional motorhome sitting next to a caravan? Seems pointless. There must be better uses for the money. You have the money as an emergency repair fund for the motorhome. Do an upgrade of the motorhome, do up the interior. Not that Netty needs her interior doing up, but oh, let's just have a look at this skyline. Fabulous. Still not showing any range, but my fuel light still isn't on. Jeopardy, darlings, will I make it to work? Where was I? What was I banging on about? Oh, right, yeah, the caravan. But somebody else, in my opinion, nailed it. And they said, yes, you absolutely must get the caravan ASAP. A caravan, you can set up a caravan like a home. You can have a routine like you do in Windy Bum. Netty is fine for your Monday night overnight. Netty is like a holiday home. It's a small space. Oh, breathe in. It's a small space that you shuffle about in and make do with. But you'd pull your hair out if you were stuck in Netty full time for months on end. She's just not big enough. So yeah, and I totally agree with that. I think the caravan is an absolute must. Get one as soon as possible. Not an expensive one to begin with, because there won't be the budget. Get a year out of it, maybe 2 years, then upgrade it as finances have improved. But definitely get a caravan, because I'm not going to be able to live any sort of normal life in Netty, and I've been acutely aware of that. I adore Netty. Netty is my happy place. That's why I plan to keep her forever. But I've always known, not that deep down in my mind, that that as wonderful as Netty is for a night away, living in her full time, oh, it's, you know, I think it would soon wear off, wouldn't it? The excitement of the difference, it would soon wear off, and it would just become a bloody inconvenience. So yeah, absolutely. The plan will be to replace Netty with a caravan absolutely as soon as possible. And Netty will not be sitting next to the caravan. Netty will be elsewhere. This car, my daily, Madam Fanny, or whatever my daily is at that point, will be sitting next to the caravan, and that's what's going to be buzzing us to and from work. And Netty, as I said before, Netty will be there for Monday night jollies, or a couple of night jollies, or whatever. But yeah, she's just not practical for long term. A week, yeah. A couple of weeks, yeah, why not? Months on end, just no. Just no. So yeah, that has been discussed. Right, when it comes to the stuff, it looks like everybody thinks that my thought processes, which were already guided by you guys, people seem to think that my thought processes are going pretty much in the right direction. If the Sherpa's Lodge comes off, fine. My furniture will have a use. Get it up there. Otherwise, everybody's just saying get rid. Everybody's just saying get rid. And again, people are very kind and generous in sharing their own experience and their own situations. And a number of people have already said, don't do what I did. Don't pay for expensive storage. I paid whatever it was for storage for stuff for 10 years. The fees way exceeded the worth of the stuff, and I ended up not using it anyway. Another chap, again, I think it was a chap. Genders can be difficult when it's, you know, kind of anonymous usernames. We'll say it was a chap. Now, he left a comment that really did kind of strike home with me. Again, he said, when I started my van life, he said, I got rid of everything, found it quite cathartic. A number of people have mentioned that, how cathartic it is to rid yourself. Oh, okay, that, darlings, was the fuel light coming on. Right, fingers crossed. Oh, was that an owl? Fingers crossed we should be okay. Still showing 0 range, but I haven't been this low in this car before. I did in YVETTE CARTE-BLANCHE, and almost as soon as the fuel light came on, she ran out. Whereas Officer CRABTREE and the late lamented Mimi LeBonc, they'd crack on for another 50 or 60 miles. Oh, I've got range now. 66 miles of range. There you go. The computer is no longer saying no, we'll be fine. Yeah, a number of people were saying how cathartic it was to just get rid of the bits and pieces, and I believe that, because I'd already started to feel a bit like that, even just thinking about it in theory, you know. So I can quite believe that. Oh yeah, but this particular person was saying, yeah, they got rid of everything when they started their van life 7 years ago, I think they said it was, with the exception of their precious hi-fi system and vinyl record collection, which they put into storage, which was quite expensive. And 7 years on, they're now trying to sell that. So and a lot of people picked up on what I said yesterday, and have sort of said, look, you're in a small van, you've already got everything you need in there. Everything else, unless it's got incredible personal value and is small, just get rid. So that's the direction I think I'm heading in. That's the planned direction anyway. Oh, and people were coming up with that, you know, there's a rule, if you haven't used it in 6 months, you don't need it, get rid. Everybody's just saying get rid, get rid, get rid. You'll feel better, life will be easier, blah blah blah. And you know what, I am sure you are right. People are saying it's just stuff, whatever emotional meaning you think it has, it's just stuff. Stuff can be replaced as and when needed, but it's just stuff. Now, what else have people been saying? And there will be much more of this to come. I might end up doing tomorrow on this same subject as well, and discussing more comments that are left this evening and overnight on yesterday's video, and indeed now this video. This conversation could be ongoing, and it's striking a chord with people. There are people in similar situations, so I think it's a worthwhile discussion to have. It's certainly helping me, and again, let me thank you for your input. Right, the other thing people are talking about, the other thing I mentioned going forward, I mentioned a static caravan. A number of people have responded to that. Some pro, some against. It's just a thought that I had. Somebody sent me a link to one. I fancy having a base in Wales at some point. There would be no point in me having that now. At the moment, I'm tied and I don't get free time, so it'd be pointless having anywhere in Wales now. In the long term, I would like to have a base in Wales. It doesn't have to be a static caravan. It could be another seasonal pitch with another touring caravan on it, but I would like to have a place in Wales. However, that there would be no, thinking about it, there would be no point in doing that until I was in a position where I didn't need the restaurant work. And in reality, what does that mean? There's only one way that that could happen. This is taking the conversation into a different area, really, isn't it? So yeah, what's the future going to be financially and work-wise? Well, at the moment, I'm basing everything around staying at the restaurant because I need an income, of course I do, and I'm not going to put myself into the kind of van life where you survive on, well, the people who don't work, I don't know what they survive on. I mean, obviously some people survive on their YouTube earnings, but what about the small channels who do van life and have only got a few hundred subscribers, so their YouTube isn't even monetized? What do they live on, these guys? I don't know. Can you claim benefits when you're living in a van? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Do they live off savings? Not a clue. Not a clue. And of course, in a way, it's none of my business. But yeah, so, and of course, we've just passed Lickpenny, and we will just have passed plot number 120. Oh, comments on that as well. Yeah, quite a few people are saying well done on 120. Definitely the next best to 119. A couple of people have even said, oh, I actually think it's better. Yeah, realistically, in the short term and possibly the long term, I'm going to be doing what I'm doing now because I need an income. We all do. And mine comes from the restaurant, so that can't change. And the only way it could change would be if I had another income source, and the only income source I'm likely to have is YouTube. So, oh god, this could be a discussion for a whole other video. People do this, don't they? You know, I've got however many thousand subscribers it is. How much do YouTube pay me? And they invariably make a video that earns them more than any other video they've made, where they're just talking about how much they've made on YouTube. So maybe I should do the bloody same. Right, I'm pulling out in front of you, mate. I'm sorry, but I've been sitting there for ages. Oh, and the one behind me did as well, so it can't have been that marginal. Now, yeah, so the only way I could not be doing the restaurant would be if YouTube was providing sufficient income, and I can assure you it's not. I've got no idea how much. Well, if you lot do YouTube yourself, you'll know how much money I'm earning, because you can look at my numbers and make a rough guess. You can look on, if any of you are really interested, go onto a site called socialblade.com, and that will give you, type in the name of a YouTube channel, and that will give you all of their stats. I think you have to be a channel of a certain size, but I am most definitely on there, and it will show you how many views I get per day, how many subscribers I got or lost in any particular day, and it will tell you how much money I made in any particular day or any particular week or any particular month, as it will for loads of other YouTube channels. So if you're interested, go and have a look, and let me know in the comments if you are surprised by how much money I make on YouTube, and tell me why you are surprised. Did you think it would be more, or did you think it would be less? If you're not interested, don't bother looking. Simples. Yeah, so back to the point. And this all started about having the place in Wales, didn't it? Now, if every YouTuber has a dream when they begin, I think they do anyway, I certainly did, Mustard did, and we still have that dream now. You dream of a point, getting your channel to a point where you can plan something to do, and you know that the video or videos that you make from that thing will cover the cost of you doing that thing. And that is a massive door opening, because that opens an incredible amount of possibilities. So, I mean, let's give you an example, right? I could go to Llandudno and spend a night in a hotel, and I could make a video about it. I have made a video about it. Now, I can't remember the exact figures, so you'll have to forgive me, but we can use something at random. So let's say I make that video. Let's say I pay 60 quid for the hotel room. Let's say I put 30 quid in diesel in, have a meal out where normally I would eat at home, eating restaurant food, it wouldn't cost anything. Let's say that trip costs me £100, and me, with my channel, I do a video about it, I might make £5 or £10 for that video. So clearly I am making a loss in pure financial terms. Now, in reality, what I've done is I've gone and done something that I wanted to do and would probably do anyway, and the fact that I made a film about it meant that I got £10 to go towards it, and that paid for my lunch, something like that. Whereas a bigger channel, they would do that same trip, it would cost them the same amount, but they would make a video out of it, and that video would make £500. So not only has it not cost them anything, but they've made £400 in profit. Now, when you get to that stage, that means that you can suddenly plan amazing things, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you would then be able to plan something really out of the ordinary. I don't know, drive a Rolls Royce to the Arctic Circle, go on, take your motorhome on a road trip to Spain in winter, and you would be able to do that knowing that you were going to make videos from it that would cover all of the costs and give you an income on top. So that's a massive opportunity, and that's what I think most YouTubers dream of getting to, and I'm no exception. And so if I got anywhere near doing decent figures, then there would come a point, no doubt, where it would make sense for me to progress the channel, to leave the restaurant, do YouTube full time, and that would mean doing different and more exciting things. And again, that would be a dream come true. And that's when the place in Wales would come into play. And that's when you can do your Scottish road trips and all of that. But I'm nowhere near that yet. I still need that income coming in, because YouTube is pocket money. Oh God, here we go. Oh, and me running out of diesel. I might do an episode about, I might actually do a whole video about the finances of YouTube when you begin, when you're first monetized, and when you are a small channel. Because I think a lot of people who don't do YouTube think that, right, they've got 1,000 subscribers, they're monetized now, they're on the gravy train. And trust me, it ain't nothing like that. That would be interesting to talk about, because, you know, how many YouTube channels run at a loss? You probably think they're making money, but technically they probably run at a loss. Don't run out of diesel here. Don't run out of diesel here. Anyway, that would be a discussion or something for another day. I've got 72 miles of range according to the computer. Are there traffic lights here now? Is that why? There were no traffic lights yesterday. There were the day before. Or is this just, there's more traffic than usual, it's just a normal queue for the junction. Can I see any traffic lights? No, I think it's just a normal queue for the junction. Anyway, so yeah, we might do that another day. Let me know if you'd be interested in any of that. But going back to what I was talking about, yeah, if that point came, then that's where things would go absolutely mad. And that's when you could look at having the place in Wales. The other things that I was talking about in the long term, you know, having another motorhome that was more modern, that you could go away and do the trips to Spain in. And people have commented on that as well. And one comment that I loved reading was, I'm getting really excited for you, having these possibilities, future possibilities. Won't be happening anytime soon, but, you know, could happen. And they say, you know, that would be so exciting for you, and I think this is going to be a new adventure for you, and, you know, we'll get to come along and do it with you, which you absolutely would. And that just reminded me there was something else I wanted to quickly mention, because, yeah, we get into the half-hour point when I should probably shut up. Oh, no, not quite. Yeah, what was that for, mate? Are you annoyed that I didn't just drive out into oncoming traffic? There's a bit of a blind bend here, you see. That's why you sometimes have to change your mind at the last minute, much to the annoyance of the car behind you. Probably because he's a shit driver, hadn't left tyres and tarmac room and was about to drive into me. And that means I've completely forgotten what I was going to talk to you about. Bugger, what was it? Let me think. Right, I was talking about Wales, motorhome, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I remember the last thing I was going to mention was that in terms of YouTube channel growth, I'm unlikely to have any over the next couple of months, because I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm not even going to be doing anything on a Monday because money. So certainly through November and December, I'm going to be doing sod oil of any particular interest. And the only videos that I'm going to be making are videos like this, where I'm driving somewhere and I'm talking about theoretical things to come. Now, those of you who have been kind enough to take an interest in me, you watch them and you enjoy them and you interact, and I'm grateful to you. But you know, these are things that will only appeal to existing viewers that are already like coming along with me on the journey. They're not going to grow the channel in any substantive way, shape or form. But next year, when we actually move on to the seasonal pitch, at that point the channel might start to grow. We might start to get new people on board, and you know, that's what might ultimately lead towards a point where we can truly throw away the shackles, throw away the last shackle of paid employment, and get out there on the road with doing YouTube full time. And what an exciting prospect that would be. And I've been rattling away for far too long now, so I'm going to shut up. Thank you for listening if you have been. Thank you for your contributions in the comments, on the live streams, all of that. Please, please, please keep them coming, and I'll be back to talk at you again tomorrow. But do please leave your reactions, thoughts, suggestions, experiences, ideas, whatever. Do leave them in the comments. It's really, really helping not just me, you'll be helping other people in similar situations as well. So yeah, please keep that coming. Right, that's it. I will look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, all the love in the world from me, and on that note, toodle and indeed pip. See you tomorrow, darlings.
The YouTube channel's not any good, but he's a nice guy. I'm sorry, Mr. Boaty.
Oh. You had me at YouTube videos. Let's go, Boaty.
Boaty's such a great guy. Such a great guy. Very tall. Such a great guy. I wish Boaty was here in America with me right now.
You twat. Wanger.